Good morning, gamers. What's going on? Hold on a second. Hey, how's it going, everyone? Hope everything works. I didn't double check it. Yeah. What's up? What's up, everybody? Welcome to the weekly sip. Hope you all have your coffee with you. Oh. Okay, hold on. Hold on. I'm trying to adjust something here, if you don't mind. I'm trying to fix a mic quality issue I've been having. Okay. What's going on, everyone? Hi. You know what? At this point, I'm recognizing names that hang out in the Game Boomer stream more than the the YouTube streams, like Lemonbot and Shawneemon, Savra Refram. Remember, guys. Remember. Can I? God damn it! Here, I have to retype it. Follow the gaming channel, okay? It's twitch.tv/GameBoomers, or alternatively, it is also, if you prefer YouTube, youtube.com/GameBoomer. That's where you go. I'm trying to stream there most nights now that I'm not sick anymore and nobody else is sick anymore. Geez, you hear all those dogs? Neighborhood dogs are going wild here out in the suburbs. So yeah, follow those channels. I try to stream there most nights. I keep things relatively apolitical. I talk about other topics because it's a gaming channel, right? Like to chill. But yeah, see, I know some people can't watch in the evenings when I stream, but I also want to do some daytime streams at some point. I might do like I'm because I'm gonna have a different situation happening every Wednesday night in the near future. I might make like Wednesday mornings, like European time zone streams for Game Boomers. Could you please do a live stream covering the Canadian snap election live results tomorrow? I could, but is there really that much interest in it? Like, here's the thing, guys. When it comes to the Canadian election, 2019 was a big deal because Trudeau was coming off a majority and he was kind of unpopular. But it almost seems like I don't know, I feel like there's going to be less surprises this election than there was last one. I have a feeling at this point that Trudeau is just going to get the exact same minority government that he got in 2019. Now, that's still a failure on Trudeau's part because he called an election for no reason, solely as a blatant power grab, and it's made him look terrible. And so even if he comes out of it in the exact same position that he went into it, it's still a worse scenario for him because he's basically blown all of his political capital and all of his goodwill on nothing. So, but if there's actually interest, if you guys really want me to do like an election night stream, I can probably do that if you like. You know, you have that sip of coffee and then like you feel it's like warm in your esophagus and then you feel like tingling all over your body. You know what I'm talking about? Actually, I don't know if you can even hear the slurps considering that there is a noise suppression gate on. Hold on. You make on Academic Aiden's recent post on tomboy ab licking. Honestly, Academic Agent has just become a fucking moron. I'm sure he's a nice enough fellow, but like, he has a certain problem with society. Fair enough. It's not exactly an unreasonable problem, but he's mad at all the wrong people. It's like, all right, dude. All right. You hear the slurps? Oh, nice. I don't know what Gunpla is. To be honest, I do not know what Gunpla is. I'm just going to turn off the noise suppression and see what happens. Let's see what happens when I do this. How do I sound now? My name is Jocko, and I start my morning by gargling boiling piss. I actually don't know what the term frustrated millionaire means. Let me go look it up. Doop-a-doop-ba-doop-boo. Oh, you mean temporarily embarrassed millionaires? I've seen that before. Yeah, socialism never took root in America because the poor see themselves not as an exploited proletariat, but as temporarily embarrassed millionaires. Yeah, I don't think that's true. I think the reason that socialism never took root in America is because the liberal ethic is not simply purely consequentialist, and having at least some deontological components means that they respect things like consent. Consent. I did a video on this a little bit ago. Consent is 100% a deontological ethical component. You cannot arrive at respecting consent as a consequentialist. Hold on. Let me just put the stream out there, guys. There we go. Okay. Oh, fuck. Okay, hold on a second. Am I going on Adam and Sitch's show later? It's not up to me, man. It's not my show, unfortunately. Oh. Man, I'm enjoying this coffee. I'm taking my time. This is like the relaxing stream, you know what I mean? That and less economics and social strife. God damn it, Naomi, can you hear her tweeting or her pinging me? Where's my phone? Is it in the bed? I don't even know where it is. What? Oh. Hold on. What is she saying? She says she's tired. She went to work really early this morning. Okay. Okay. It is up to you. Adam has said they are lazy and prefer offers than them inviting. Okay. All right. Well, it just seems rude. Like, it seems rude to bully yourself onto somebody else's stream, you know? White Nessa. White. I always love your name, dude. White Nessa. How did you enjoy the triggering of 13-year-olds on Twitter who saw porn on the internet? So stupid. Dude, when I was 13, I had seen porn. In fact, I think on the internet. Way back in the day. Like old internet, you know? $2 from Stug. Dev is the executive producer of Stitch and Adam. Or Sitch and Adam. If it's a full show, they'll say no. But if no one is there and you want to add to it, they'll send a link. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, Sargon derails all. Sargon just goes on and then calls them a communist. Beef 3D for €5. Dev, this might sound crazy, but socialist parties in Belgium were actually second-guessing COVID passes because of overreach. Can you believe it? Depends. Honestly, politics is not so simple. I can believe that happening. Yes, politics is not so simple. For example, it's gonna sound strange to you Americans, but nationalism in Canada is more of a left-wing thing than a right-wing thing. If that makes any sense. Here's how it works. Basically, as soon as Americans decided they wanted to revolt and and have a war against the British, to a war of independence, the Canadian identity basically centered around still remaining part of the UK. That was the early Canadian identity. And then as Canada kind of became its own sovereign nation, a Canadian nationalism formed that was just basically based in anti-Americanism. And so as long as America was considered right wing, a lot of Canadian nationalists would say, well, we're not those evil, racist, bigoted Americans. And that ended up becoming a left-wing thing. So like this idea that nationalism is always a right-wing thing, it's like, no, it's not. Nationalism can be anyway. Dev, as you are an agent of evil, your evil opinion on the tomboy abs question. Okay, so it's like tomboys with abs don't matter, and it's stupid. Okay, but that wasn't his point. AA's point was that men should not be taking on feminine roles, and women should not be taking on masculine roles. And if you're saying that as like a general widespread amount of advice to a whole society, you can make a pretty good argument as to why men should not be taking on feminine roles and women should not be taking on masculine roles. But on the individual level, I mean, obviously people can do whatever they want, right? I think basically the idea is that it might work for a minority of men and a minority of women, but it's not going to be healthy for most people. Yeah, it's usually nationalism against the dominant nation. Yeah, a lot of Canadian nationalism defines itself as being not America. And so, as long as America is evil right wingers, Canadian nationalists view themselves as good left wingers. Sargon can go shut the fuck up. What's that about, Dragon? Schnitzel. Okay. So I have to tell you a story, Schnitzel. Your package came in, and Naomi refused to open it on stream because you sent it to her, not me. And she said, "Nope, it's my package. I'll do whatever I want." And she opened it. I tried to tell her, like, dude, he's gonna want you to open it on stream. I don't believe AA is a disingenuous grifter. I don't think that's the case. I think he's like horrendously wrong about a lot of things, but I don't think he's a grifter. He like he, it's funny because a lot of that crowd have definitely gone the Vosh route in a lot of respects, but not in the grifting respects. Is it haram to be black? What the fuck, dude? Why would it? The Weekly Sip is my weekly news and community show. Schnitzel. Naomi took the whole package. I don't have it. Yeah, White Nessa. I've been giving Sargon a couple of good smackdowns in our conversations. In fact, hold on here. There's some decent research that emotion and reason are actually the same thing. It's just that emotion operates quickly and reason operates slowly. But they're actually the same thing. There's no divide between them. This don't mix AA fans with Vosh anything, please. No, there's some overlap there. Not in terms of not actual overlap in terms of people, but in terms of temperament and ideology. There's overlap there. But anyway, there's basically some there's a lot of evidence that shows that reason and emotion are not these opposing forces that like the Vulcans would have you believe, right? Where you have like the caricature of pure logic denying all emotion, but they're actually the same thing. All out offense, I guess DM me about it. I do have my list of dumps, but I don't remember one about Trudeau, but DM me. And basically, here, before I'm not going to call Sargon Nazi. We just disagree on some things, and it's fine. But let me describe before I get onto the news and stuff. Let me describe to you the argument, okay? All right. There's a pretty good book called Thinking Fast and Slow, and it basically describes how certain parts of your brain work. And you have basically two personalities inside of you. And the author of the book, because I guess he has no imagination, he calls the two people inside of you System 1 and System 2. You could have made names for them, but here we are. System 1 is fast, instinctive, and emotional. It rapidly processes all of the data your senses take in and discards most of it as irrelevant. And anything which requires greater cognition to understand is passed off to System 2. DM me on Discord, please. System 2 is slower, deliberate, and logical. It's lazy, and it only likes to work when it has to, but this is where your actual thinking takes place. Now, Sargon's a conservative, for sure. As System 2 learns how to do something through repeated practice, System 1 eventually takes over and automates it. And you can kind of see yourself working on this, right? Like, here, all right, chat. I want you to engage in this with me, okay? Very quickly. The minute that you hear me say the question, put your answer in the chat, okay? And if you can't think of an answer, within 1 second, put in the chat, I don't know. All right? So we're gonna do an experiment here. So, question 1. What is 2 plus 2? Go. Okay, 1 second's up. There's your answer. Okay. Question 2. What is 17 times 24? Go. Okay, there's your second. The idea is, for some things, you can do immediately because you already have it. And for some things, you can't. And so System 2 has to take over and then be like, all right, I got to think this through. And it takes a little bit longer, right? See, look, all the 4s are coming in on the chat. And then no ideas. Hold on, let's see. I don't know. See? So this is what I mean. This is the difference between System 1 and System 2. When it was a simple question, System 1 said 4 immediately. When it was a complicated question, System 2 said, I don't know. And those are the differences. That is the difference. 408. This guy just fucking knew it. It's not that you're stupid. It's the differences in speed between the two systems in your head. Okay? And so, for example, if someone was to ask you a trick question, the reason that most people get trick questions wrong until they actually think about it for a couple of seconds is because System 1 looks at the trick question and goes, oh yeah, here's the answer, and it's the wrong answer, but it's a simple, easy answer. And then System 2, being lazy, goes, that's about right, isn't it? And then says it. Which is why System 2 says, I don't know. Because that is a correct answer, it's just not the right answer, you know what I mean? It's not the truth, it's just correct for you. So, either system can be used to reveal truth or obscure it, depending on how they're used. So let's put this together, okay? In terms of the emotion and reason crossover. Consider that an emotion that is evoked by correct beliefs about the world can also be considered rational, because it passes the test of both the reflexive system 1 and the deliberate system 2. That makes sense, right? Consider it like this. If your friend dies, you'll be sad. But if you discover that your friend's actually alive and it was just a mistake, then you'll be happy again. But then if it turns out you were just dreaming and then you wake up, you'll be sad again. These emotions are not irrational emotions. They're coming out of our models of reality, and they change according to new information. If we accept that which can be destroyed by the truth should be, which is a famous statement, then while you were dreaming, your happiness was opposed by the truth. And then when you wake up and you're sad, it is rational to be sad because there is no truth which destroys that state of mind. It's almost like it's something like becoming a more rational person doesn't make you less emotional. Because, for example, sometimes we run away from strong feelings by denying the truth, hard truths. If being more rational means denying less truths, then we absolutely become more emotional as well. So it seems to me that there's a great overlap between emotion and reason. That's what it seems to me anyway. And it's funny because I was telling Sargon this, because Sargon is on the Moral Foundations arc, which is a pretty good arc to be on. The Moral Foundations seem to be basically correct. Part of Jonathan Haidt's work is the idea that morality is simply what we feel at the end of the day. We feel something is wrong, therefore it is, and everything else is just reasons after the fact, which I think is true. And I think this actually ties into that quite well. So I tell Sargon this idea of mine, and he says, here, I know this is from the private chat, but I'm not revealing anything embarrassing. It's just funny, and it's part of the conversation, okay? Sargon says, interesting thesis, but my emotions are telling me it's wrong, and that is my reason, so disavow. Basically, like, it's funny. The reason that the Chad yes meme or the Giga Chad is like, the average X enjoyer, those memes make so much sense, is because it's somebody who has not thought through his position. He has intuited his position, and yet it's still correct, if that makes sense. I don't know if that makes sense to you guys. It's not that I'm conflating emotion with intuitive thought. It's that intuitive thought runs on emotion for sure. Like a gut feeling is certainly an emotion, but it's also intuitive thought. But yeah, it seems to me. I think there's more and more. I'm gonna eventually, maybe I'll eventually do a video. Do a video on this, But it seems to me that emotion and reason truly are the same thing, just running at different speeds. And there's probably more evidence that'll back this up. Maybe I'll do a video on it. Cody Sullivan for $5. My game of moral chicken with Trudeau over the vaccine seems to be ending. Going to university unvaccinated is becoming increasingly difficult. It sucks, doesn't it? I mean, I would stick to it if I were you. Just be like, no, I'm not doing anything you say. Punish me if you want, but I'm not doing it. Johnny for $5. So having moral foundations, like learning multiplication tables to make simple math easier? I get it. Masad is looking for me. Oh no. Turn A is... Oh, fuck you. Turn A Gundam is the best Gundam of all. Here, shall we actually get to some things? Maybe it is time to actually get to some things, okay? Here, just give me a second, all right? Give me a second and we'll get to the news and other community things that aren't the blues. Okay. If you want to join the $5 club, you donate $5 recurring monthly, because the bot has to set it up, so it has to be recurring automatically, through Patreon, Subscribestar, the YouTube memberships button, which is right there, or the twitch.tv/GameBoomers sub button over on my gaming channel. By the way, please sub there if you don't mind. Or just follow. I don't mean to say give me money. I mean to say just follow me, because I stream there most nights. I'll drop the links in the chat once more time. If you follow these Game Boomers channels on YouTube and Twitch, you get to see me in the evenings fuck around with my friends playing video games. If you drop $100 US dollars into the Short Fat Otaku PayPal account, and then you give me the receipt, obviously, you get into the $5 club for life. That's how it is. And if you want to send me stuff to the P.O. Box, the Devo SFO P.O. Box, once we get around 5 packages or so, I generally open stuff up on the stream. So, enjoy. Now, let me see here. Let me just... Okay. First thing we're going to cover, guys, if you don't mind. Here's the Minecraft server, the SFO Minecraft server. Even if you don't donate, you are allowed to come on. So it is a community event. It's a community server where I do community events. And I am here to announce the opening in the next couple of days. I'll put it at the start of a video or something when it actually happens. But it might even be tomorrow. The opening of the Short Fat Otaku Minecraft server Halloween community event. As you can see, there's a big pumpkin. Can I just fly? Oops. Here. Can I fly? Nope. Oh, shit. How do I do it? Why can't I fly anymore? I'm gonna... Okay, am I in, like... Oh, no, hold on. I'm in survival. Sorry, hold on. Game mode creative. Okay. Here we go. So, there's a big-ass pumpkin. We got a little area in here with lava walls. We got a little gargoyles. Just, it's looking very Halloween-y in here, isn't it? So this is the Halloween... Oh, yeah, someone made Spook Fat Otaku. This will be opening up in the next day or two. You can even go in. Ooh. This will be opening up in the next day or two. This is the Halloween challenge map. Okay? It is a new map on the server. Open to anybody who wants to join. And the idea will be... You have approximately 1 month to make the coolest Halloween construction that you can. And then I will do a stream where we go check out all your stuff. It's going to be a community thing. Basically, there's a... Can I just go back to spawn? Yes. In the main world, if you head east from spawn, you see that the corresponding matching pumpkin over here. Within the next day or two, this pumpkin's jaw will open up, and it will be a portal to the Minecraft. To the Minecraft. Oh, hey, Aeroventus. It will be a portal to the Halloween map, and you'll be able to go in there and start your builds. And we will, in fact, for the person who has the best Halloween build, we will, in fact, have some kind of a prize. I don't know what it's going to be yet. Maybe I'll just send you my nudes. Ha 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 ha. We'll have a prize. But here, let me just... Yeah, here we go. Yeah, see? Halloween map coming soon. Well, very soon indeed. So that is... Yeah, the build challenge will be in survival. It's not a creative thing. I want you to be able to actually, do... Like, show me your real Minecraft skills. You have as much space as you want. The map goes out for about 5,000 or 10,000 blocks in all directions, so you can do whatever you want. You just give me something? It's an anvil. All right. So, if you want to get on the Minecraft server, it's very easy. go into the SFO Discord, get yourself on the whitelist. It's you just ask the mod to put you on there. We had to whitelist it because actually a bunch of people from Oozaloo's. I don't know what the fuck happened to Oozaloo. We turned into like a crazy person, I guess. It's a shame because I like the guy, but a bunch of people from Oozaloo's community started showing up and fucking with the server, and they were crashing it repeatedly. So I had to like roll a bunch of their shit back and ban them all, and it was like kind of not a fun time. So for now, there's a whitelist. If you want to get in, come on in, and come play on the Halloween map, coming like tomorrow. And I think we'll probably do the stream in about a month from now, so maybe a little bit later. So I want to give people at least a month to work on this stuff. So probably around the end of October, we'll do the community stream where we look at everyone's stuff. Yeah, that's the plan. Here, let me just get this out of the way, and I'll get the news up, and we'll go over some dumb articles which I managed to collect. Cold Signon, I wish I fucking knew, dude. I think a lot of it is just political radicalization. All right. I will read all the super chats at the end of the stream now that we've begun the news segment. So let's go. Bee sting on the penis can permanently enlarge them. All right, guys. All of you micropeens out there, you know what to do. One of the most notable investigated advantages of honeybee sting toxin to man is its groundbreaking mitigating impacts and enhancements to the insusceptible framework responses. This does not sound like an English article. The venom from honeybee sting has been shown to reduce inflammation, muscle tensions, and can induce body immunity. But in a recent development, Egyptologists has discovered an ancient method of penis enlargement from an ancient Old Egyptian script. This unusual method was believed to be used by the royal pharaoh's House of the Ancient Egypt to permanently enlarge their sex organ for maximum sexual satisfaction. Modern-day scientists have been trying to get enough facts concerning this ancient method. To get it right, a small study was conducted around the world, selecting 9 possible volunteers from different ethnicities and races. 3 Europeans, 3 Asians, and 3 Africans. The bee sting to penis research leader, John Corona, he said the result was unbelievable and amazing. The bee sting to the penis research involves catching bees and getting them to sting manhood genitals. This painful process is actually meant to increase swelling and hypersensitivity in the genitals, which goes on to cause a rise in intensity and time taken for an orgasm. The Asians can't handle their new big-sized penis. He spoke on how one of the volunteers from Africa is having a hard time in his relationship, as his partner is now scared of sex. She was so scared of the big manhood. He concluded that the growth in size varies from individual body physiology. They are currently working on how they can permanently extract the substance from bees so that it can be sold over the counter. That's amazing. It seems like this guy probably needed this, by the way. Man jailed for stabbing woman with syringe of his semen. Just inject the femoid with your cum. Holy fuck, guys. A man has been jailed after he stabbed a woman in the buttocks with syringe filled with his semen in a horrifying supermarket attack. Oh my god. Look at this. What the fuck, dude? Thomas Brian Steeman, 51, from the U.S., told the victim, "I know, it feels like a bee sting, doesn't it?" as he plunged the needle into her buttocks. He has been jailed for 10 years for his sick crime and charged with assault and reckless endangerment. The vile attack took place in a grocery store in Churchton, Maryland in February 2020. She told CBS Baltimore that she felt Steeman bump into her as she entered the store and then felt something that felt like a cigarette burn. She hadn't realized what had happened at the time, so she found a puncture wound on herself when she returned home. I started driving home and it started hurting really bad. I called my son and said, "Something's not right. I hope nothing happens. I hope I make it home. I love you." Footage captured the moment. Oh my God. She was hit with a syringe. If you've seen this video, it's very aggressive, it's very deliberate, and makes us think it's not his first time doing this. Jesus Christ, dude. In the video, he's seen walking closely behind her as she pushes in a shopping cart. Suddenly, Steeman quickly jabbed at her with a syringe, making her jump from the shock. Oh my God. Police confiscated the needle from him and later discovered more syringes in his car, all full of his semen. Like, what the fuck? What the fuck is wrong with people? All right. 11 things it is illegal for your partner to do to you. So this is new legislation in the UK, okay? The next Genghis Khan. Fuck. This is new legislation in the UK. All right? And we're going to go over the 11 things it's illegal, because some of them are actually pretty reasonable, of course, and some of them aren't. So let's discuss. Okay? 1. Share sexually explicit images of you, either online or not. Laws surrounding revenge porn make it against the law for someone to share intimate photographs of you with anyone, whether that's on or offline. Okay, fair enough, you know. I feel like you could make a good property rights argument regarding that you don't own your image. If somebody else owns porn of you, it's theirs, not yours. Because in non-porn situations, that's how it is. Like, if you act in a movie, and then you don't like the movie, and then you demand it be taken down because it's your face in the movie, you can't do that because you've already acted in the movie, right? So this isn't how it works for non-porn situations. So it doesn't seem consistent. But at the same time, you know, porn and non-porn aren't the same thing. Sometimes you need to be more pragmatic. So fine, fair enough. All right. 2. Restrict your access to money. Even if your partner is the breadwinner, the law says one partner cannot stop the other from accessing money and should not give them punitive allowances. All right. Domestic Violence Charity Refuge says it had seen cases where victims were forced to provide receipts for all spending or given such small allowances that they couldn't afford to buy food for themselves and their children. Listen, first of all, you don't have the right to anybody else's money. That's it. The law says that one partner cannot stop the other from accessing money. Okay, fair enough. But only your own. You know, like, okay. Let's say that Naomi was a housewife and I made all the money, okay? It's still my money. She still does not have a unilateral right to reach into my bank account and take my money. And also, this stuff here, the punitive allowances thing, this actually seems like it happens in the inverse, where, like, men make, like, especially in single breadwinner households, men make all the money, and then women distribute the money, and then men only get, like, a little bit of it, you know? 3. Repeatedly put you down. Are you constantly being insulted or mocked by your partner? You may not think this is domestic abuse, but the new law says that persistent name-calling, mocking, and other insulting behavior is illegal. Now, this is shitty. You know, maybe you're in a relationship where you're both okay with that. And it's like, that's one thing. But secondly, this is shitty. Like, it's not good to do. This is how you ruin a relationship. But should it be illegal? No. At the end of the day, it's still speech, right? Like, if your boyfriend treats you like shit, dump him. 4. Stop you from seeing friends or family. If your partner continually isolates you from the people that love you, alarm bells should ring. Yes, completely agree. There's no excuse for this. Done. Scare you. Scare you. Maybe your partner doesn't physically assault you, but if they are doing enough to frighten you, then they're committing an offense. So, this can include, but is not limited to, making angry gestures, using physical size to intimidate, shouting you down, destroying your possessions, breaking things, punching walls, wielding a knife or a gun, threatening to kill or harm you and the children, threatening to kill or harm family pets, threats of suicide. Okay, keep in mind, scare you and angry gestures, and this is not limited to, all implies that if you jump scare your partner, that's abuse. If you go boo, it's abuse, guys. 6. Threaten to reveal private things about you. Okay, yep, fair enough. Violates sanctity of the marriage or of the relationship. It's shitty of you to do. Don't think it should be illegal to spill the beans, but it's bad and it should end the relationship for sure. 7. Put tracking devices on your phone. It is illegal under the new legislation to monitor a person using online communication tools or spyware. Fair enough, completely agree. By the way, which is why we shouldn't be allowing it or acquiescing to it when it comes to, say, COVID tracking. 8. Being extremely jealous. If your partner persistently accuses you of cheating simply for looking at another person, then this could be grounds for prosecution. Extreme jealousy, including possessiveness and ridiculous accusations of cheating, are all under the new legislation. If you think your girl's cheating, that's illegal. If you're jealous, that's illegal. Fucking ridiculous. Make you obey their rules. A relationship should be a partnership with neither partner having control over the other. Actually, it's not that. It's the inverse. Both partners have control over each other. That's the point of it. You're supposed to part of what makes a functional relationship functional is that you restrict each other. You expect something better of them. Control what you wear. Fair enough. You might want you might want to agree to some kind of standard, and if they don't adhere to that standard, you can dump them, but you can't control what they wear. So, okay, fair enough. And then 11, forcing you to do things you don't want to do. If your partner is forcing you to commit crimes, neglect or abuse your children, or simply forces you to reveal anything about your relationship to the authorities, it all counts as abuse. Yes. Okay. Agreed. But here's the thing. Everything here that was bad was already illegal before this new legislation. Okay? And everything here that they added is an overreach. This is fucking stupid. Coronavirus sniffing dogs unleashed at Miami airport to detect virus in the employees. That they can sniff out the coronavirus now, guys. Employees at Miami International Airport who go through the standard security check for weapons and other prohibited items now have another layer of screening before they start work. A sniff test. Cobra, a female Belgian, Malinois, and one Beta, a Dutch Shepherd, are 7-year-old dogs trained to detect the presence of coronavirus. Cobra and one Beta will spend their shifts sniffing the face coverings of employees passing through a checkpoint to detect the presence of the virus in the sweat, breath, and scents due to metabolic changes that the virus causes in the human body. If a dog signals the odor of the virus on a person, that individual will be asked to take a rapid coronavirus test. The big aha for me was not only that could the dogs be trained for this work, but that they were so accurate. See, let's assume this is true, okay? The animals achieved 96 to 99% accuracy rates. One Beta's accuracy rate was 98.1, Cobra's was 99.4, all right? Let's assume this is true. So, if it's true, then We no longer need any other restriction. Like, I'm not even talking about from a rights point of view. From a political rights perspective, this is all fucking nonsense. Okay, from a practical scientific perspective, now we don't need anything else, do we? Because, like, if someone walks in, you gotta wear your mask because you might have it, or you gotta, get, present your vaccine passport because who knows, you might have it, you might be a danger. You gotta make sure you're safe. None of that matters anymore because let's say you walk in with no vax passport and no mask, and a dog sniffs your mouth, and the dog says he's good, then you know for sure you don't have it. You don't need any other restriction. Now, that's still stupid, but from a scientific perspective only, not a politics perspective, from a scientific perspective, this means we don't need anything else. And of course, they're not going to see it that way because they just want more restrictions. Couple has no home or any kids together, but they're still considered spouses. Ontario's top court rules. No kids, no marriage, don't live together. You just have a girlfriend. They're your spouse now. Fucking insane, dude. A wealthy businessman will have to pay more than $50,000 a month in spousal support for 10 years to a woman with whom he has had a long-term romantic relationship, even though they kept separate homes and had no children together. Under Ontario law, an unmarried couple are considered common law spouses if they have cohabitated, lived together in a conjugal relationship, continuously for at least 3 years. But that doesn't necessarily mean living in the same home, the court found. Jesus. Lack of a shared residence is not determinative of the issue of cohabitation, the appeal court said. There are many cases in which courts have found cohabitation where the parties stayed together only intermittently. The decision comes in the case of Lisa Clemens and Michael Latner, both of Toronto, who began a romantic relationship after meeting in October 2001. At the time, she was 38 and separated with 2 children, court records show. He was 46 and divorced with 3 children. Although they maintained their separate homes, Latner and Clemens behaved as a couple both privately and publicly. They vacationed together. He gave her a 7.5 carat diamond ring and other jewelry that she wore. She quit her job and would regularly sleep at his house. They traveled together and talked about living together. See, this might be the clincher, where because he just supported her and she had like no means of keeping herself up. Latner proposed several times and Clemens accepted. He often referred to her by his last name. However, he insisted she sign a marriage contract and came up with several drafts. She refused. Throughout their relationship, the two kept separate bank accounts and never owned property in common. Nevertheless, Latner gave Clemens thousands of dollars every month, a credit card, paid off her mortgage, and showered her with expensive gifts. He provided her and her children with a lavish lifestyle. Theirs was a committed relationship, the appeal court said. When the 14-year-old relationship finally broke down in May 2015, Clemens asked the court to recognize her as Latner's spouse and ordered him to pay her support. He argued she had been a travel companion and girlfriend, nothing more. As such, he said they were never legally spouses and he owed no support. Yeah, this is going to be an obvious sounding part here. In her decision in February 2019, Superior Court Justice Sharon Shore sided with Clemens. She ruled that they were in fact long-time spouses, finding that despite their separate home, they lived under one roof at Latner's cottage for part of the summer and during winter vacations in Florida. So, this, even though it sounds like really damning at the start, this is like an edge case where they did kind of live together, and he was kind of supporting her as if they were married, and she was like a stay-at-home wife. Like, fuck. I guess you just gotta like make sure that you're with the right person. Like, I am with Naomi because she is unironically perfect for me in every possible way, and I am for her. I know I am for her. And it almost feels like this sort of nonsense is like outside of the bounds of the possibilities of our relationship. We've had some pretty bad fights, Naomi and I, over the years. It's never gotten to this point, you know? The judge stated while petting her cat. Yeah, at this point, you have to make your woman go to work. Like, if you want to avoid this, make your woman go to work. Makeup brand releases the Survivors palette, and no one can believe how insensitive it is. Written by Lauren Gordon. Here's Lauren Gordon, if you can tell. There's Lauren Gordon. Oops, I accidentally closed the thing. Okay. On Cafe Mom. Let's see what this says. Here's the palette, okay? Here's the palette. The Survivor's palette of makeup. Parkinson's, diabetes, Chiari malformation, endometriosis, cervical cancer, epilepsy, depression, heart disease, lymphoma, breast cancer, lung cancer, suicide, childhood cancer, PTSD, and then something else. And so, if you want your makeup to be named dumb shit, this is the palette for you. Though we'd like to think that no brown color. Though we'd like to think that no one intends to be offensive, sometimes a thoughtless choice can impact many. It's a lesson indie makeup brand Amy Lee Cosmetics is learning the hard way. Recently, the brand announced that in honor of their PR person, Amanda Rusin, they launched a Survivors palette, which would contain various shades recognizing a myriad of diseases. The original product's description, which has since been updated, revealed that a portion of the palette's proceeds would go to her. Not giving any detail as to why. I assume that she's a survivor of something. This Amanda Rusin person, which in theory is pretty sweet. In reality, it didn't go over quite as well as expected. On Reddit, you don't survive endometriosis. I don't even know what it is, Aiden. One user called out the brand for the name of the shades, which the Redditor labeled as insensitive and triggering. Triggering. While the outer package is relatively unassuming, when the palette opens up, the story changes. There it is. Oh, child abuse is the blue one. Okay. Shades like a vibrant pink called breast cancer and a glittery brown called childhood cancer are just two of the 15 questionable monikers. There's a glittery green called lymphoma, and there's an even deep blue called child abuse. If you had to do a Survivors palette, which no, I don't think is a good idea, couldn't you have named the shades things like Overcome or Growth or something? God, this is amazing. Okay, I want to figure out what this person had, all right? They could have just called it Survivor Palette and had some spiel in the back about how people should be proud about surviving through hardship, whether it was emotional, mental health, or something else. And that this palette was dedicated to people going through serious illnesses. So X of the proceeds would go to the foundation for one thing. Yeah, so what? Okay, hold on. Oh, Amanda Rosen suffers with Chiari malformation, has survived cervical cancer, and has many other health issues, including depression due to the loss of her late husband to suicide. Holy fuck. She suffers with anxiety, depression, OCD, bipolar, and PTSD from the death of her son who had cerebral palsy. This woman's had a terrible fucking life. Like, she's had, like, all of these. Holy shit. Like, that's wild. Hey, Aiden, while you're here, I put forward a hypothesis at the start of the stream, and I think I'm correct on this. and it's that emotion and reason are actually the same thing, that they're operating at different speeds. And I go through a little bit of my thought processes on that. But just based on that idea, what do you think? Give me your psychological evaluation. Here, let's go to the next article here. Australian police defend decision to fine man after his provocative fart. A man in no, it's not. It's Austrian, not Australian. Okay. A man in Vienna has been fined 500 euros for breaking wind loudly in front of police in a move that the Austrian capital's police force was at pains to defend. The penalty stemmed from an incident on June 5th, and that the offender was fined for offending public decency. The city police wrote on Twitter that, of course, no one was reported for accidentally letting one go. They added that the man had behaved provocatively and uncooperatively during an encounter with the officers. He got up from a park bench, looked at the officers, and let go a massive intestinal wind, apparently with full intent. How do you like that? Yeah, dude, in the last weekly sip, there was the dude who was like, how do you like that? Austrians building gas chambers again. Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba. I heard you say that. Based on moral foundations, I think it's a sound hypothesis. Maybe, yeah. Did you hear like my whole spiel about how it all kind of fits together? Okay, that's. I mean, Sargon. I don't think Sargon has a real objection to it. Sargon's objection at this point is just think too much. Sargon's a good boy, though. It's okay. How an online Lego gamer. Let me just fucking get okay. How an online Lego gamer infiltrated the White House press corps. All right. Casey Montagu posed as a reporter for the fictitious WHN and managed to fool real correspondents, and even the new Biden administration. 4 times in recent weeks, members of the White House press corps have relayed questions to Press Secretary Jen Psaki from someone claiming to be a fellow reporter who was not able to be there in the room due to COVID protocols. That colleague, who goes by the name Casey Montagu, doesn't exist, at least not as an actual reporter. Since late last year, Montagu has taken on the identity of a White House correspondent extraordinaire with a fictional outlet to boot. White House News shortened an email to WHN. Montagu started 2 real-life Twitter handles, which are followed by some top White House officials and journalists. Montagu has filed Freedom of Information Act requests and obtained Psaki's personal finance disclosure form, along with the disclosure of at least one other official. In communications with confidants, Montagu has posed as a member of the White House Correspondents Association, claiming to be a reporter for the Daily Mail, the British tabloid known for its gossipy coverage of celebrities and political figures. Montagu also communicates regularly with top White House reporters and has had several exchanges with White House officials. But she never joined WHCA and the Daily Mail. There is no Casey Montagu except as a digital impersonation of a White House correspondent. That's amazing, guys. Hold on, here we go. They believe Montagu's White House moonlighting began as something to boast about in the online global gaming platform called Roblox, where users jokingly call themselves Legos. So we have a Roblox player who manages to infiltrate the White House press corps. Gamers rise up. There we go. Hope Punk. The latest storytelling trend is all about weaponized optimism. Not autism, optimism. Oops. In the era of Trump and apocalyptic change, Hope Punk is a storytelling template for resistance and hanging on to your humanity at all costs. Okay, this is from December 27th, 2018, so just pay attention to this, okay? Literary and artistic movements often arise spontaneously out of specific moments, as a response to great cultural change, to geopolitical shifts, and or to specific ebbs and flows within subcultures. In the modern world, we find most of our rebellious clusters of artists online. So it makes sense that the literary world's most defiant response to impending climate disaster and the rise of right-wing extremism around the globe has not been voiced from the pages of prestigious literary reviews, but rather from the home of one of the internet's most stridently progressive and rowdily defiant creative communities, Tumblr. The opposite of grimdark is hope punk. Pass it on. Okay. So, the left is the resistance. Resisting Trump, resisting right-wing extremism, fighting the power, fighting the good fight. Okay. Written by Adja Romano. Let's see what Adja Romano is saying right now. Okay? Let's scroll a bit. Let's just scroll a bit. Okay? Oh, yeah. She's taking a stand with the Nicki Minaj thing. Minaj did say she recommended getting the vaccine, but only conditionally and with clear reluctance. Let's see here. Let me just click on. Did she write this article? Yeah, she wrote this article here. Yeah. Nicki Minaj isn't anti-vax, exactly. That's why her vaccine resistance is so concerning. So the person who, a couple of years ago, was all about resisting the powers that be, hope punk, standing against all odds, it's so concerning that you're now resisting us in 2021. Yeah, guys. There was never any actual... Yeah, I saw the mpreg shit. There was never any actual, convictions behind this stuff. It's all just power. See? Let's see. Let's keep scrolling. What else? What other shit has she said? Oh my god, this is all just cancer. I don't want to scroll through this. Jesus Christ. Okay, fuck you. All right. Let's go to her actual articles here. Wow, she also just writes cancer, doesn't she? Gaming culture is toxic. Okay, yeah. See, she just seems to write cancer. Yeah, she's an internet culture reporter. Jesus, how do these people make any fucking money? But yeah. From the resistance to the empire in just a couple of years. Oh yeah. Here's something from V. Check this card out, guys. Please don't weigh me unless it's really medically necessary. If you really need my weight, please tell me why so that I can give you my informed consent. Why? Because most health conditions can be addressed without knowing my weight. When you focus on my weight, I get stressed, and that's not healthy. Weighing me every time I come in for an appointment and talking about my weight like it's a problem perpetuates weight stigma. I pursue healthy behaviors regardless of my weight status. See health at every size. Fuck. Imagine being a doctor and having some ham beast hand you this card when you ask them to stand on the scale. Fucking hell. Okay. If it truly is about health at every size, if it truly is about being comfortable in your own skin, you should not be afraid to step on the scale. Proudly show people how much you weigh. Fuck. Yeah, also you need to know your weight for proper medication dosages. It's so fucking stupid. French schoolgirl says she made up a story that got teacher beheaded by a Muslim radical. The student had told her father that the teacher kept Muslim students after class to show a photograph of the Prophet Muhammad naked. How did they get the photograph? Muhammad lived 1,300 years ago. Do they have cameras? Oh, fuck you. Oh, I don't want to fucking sign up for this shit. Can I, private window it, maybe? Nah, I can't. God damn it. Ripperoonie. Here's the thing, guys. For those of you who don't know, a few weeks ago, I caught the good old Delta variant. And it was actually pretty rough for like, what, 3 or 4 days. It was not a fun time, but by day 5 it was done. And I definitely think the reason that it kind of sucked is because I was overweight. Because I am overweight, you know? All right. Let's go back to the top here. Hit Japanese app Crabhouse forced to change name on iOS. About a month ago, a hot new social media app took Japan by storm. Its name was Crabhouse, and it let you enter a virtual room, dare we say a clubhouse, full of crabs. By tapping individual crustaceans, users can learn facts about these fascinating animals, or simply what's on their minds. We too joined the rapidly growing ranks of Crabhouse members and learned firsthand why it had gotten over 150,000 downloads and nearly 2,000 5-star reviews in the App Store. However, the Crabhouse trend hit a major speed bump. The Crabhouse update was rejected by the App Store. The name is confusing was the reason, lol. But there are already other apps that go beyond that by having the exact same name as Clubhouse, so why is mine the confusing one? How do I overturn this? Here's the app. All right. Sora News 24 looked into the matter and discovered that indeed there is another social media app called Clubhouse that seems to have developed a bit of a following. Frankly, it seemed kind of stupid because there wasn't a single crab in sight, but to each their own. To English speakers' eyes, the difference between Crabhouse and Clubhouse are quite clear, but that's not the case in other languages. In Japanese, the pronunciation of the letters L and R are largely interchangeable, as are the English vowels A and U. Crab and club is one such case, and to make matters worse, when rendered in a Japanese katakana script, they become identical. So yeah, Crabhouse was taken down because they thought it was aping off of Clubhouse. Damn. Man, app stores suck, you know that? I'm going to pause this. My boyfriend pays our rent and bills. He has no idea I'm the landlord. Relationship, like, look at Jesus, fuck. Relationships are built on trust and honesty. But one woman has decided to keep some pretty big news from her boyfriend, as she hadn't told him she owns the property he's paying rent for. TikTok user Jane Doe claims she's been living with her boyfriend for around a year, and while he's agreed to foot the rent and the major bills, he has no idea that his rent money is actually going to her. In a video, she said, "So me and my man have been living at this place for a year now. He pays the rent and all major bills. Little does he know, I'm the landlord, and I've owned this place for 5 years now, so his direct deposits are going straight to me." Jesus Christ, like that's fucking brutal, dude. I mean, okay, yeah, hustle, you gotta hustle, but this is your boyfriend. Fuck, dude. Her video has already gone viral, racking up 2.3 million views and dividing the opinion of the 4,000 people who have stopped by to leave a comment. Several people believe the woman was using her boyfriend for his rent money and called her actions wrong and sneaky. Yeah, it's pretty brutal, guys. A man in Florida paid off the lunch debt for more than 400 students. Florida man does something good for once. Hundreds of Florida students in need were able to have their lunch debt paid off this week through a community group that banded together to set an example. It has a lot of impacts if a child is happy and well fed. It all started with a Facebook post in August after she found out that many kids across the country accrue a debt from not being able to pay for lunch. I was like, that's not okay. These kids are starting off the school year with a negative balance. We have a shot at starting with a clean slate. Her post detailed a plea for help along with lunch debt totals for more than 400 students in Jupiter, Florida. She hoped that multiple people could donate to cover the nearly $1,000 owed in lunch debt. Beacon Cove Elementary was up to 90, Independence Middle was over 100. I very much believe in the power of helping other people. It matters to me to help make other people's lives better. The post eventually made its way to Andrew Levy's social media screen. It hit me in the heart, said the Jupiter real estate agent for Ecofine Properties. For Levy, it was a no-brainer. I really believe in simple acts, simple gestures. The thought of a fairly small sum being able to rectify the situation and clear the debt of all these families so that the children could eat warm meals is really what got me. After some time sorting through work and finding out more information from the district, he didn't want to wait for the donations to trickle in. He instead decided to pay the entire debt in full. A lot of people said they'd like to help, and I thought, you know what? It's going to be too difficult to gather people together. I'm going to clear the first debt. And he hopes others will follow suit. Oh, that's quite nice. It goes on about like the cost of lunch, but that's a nice feel-good story, isn't it? All right. Usher, Priyanka Chopra, who the fuck that is, and Julianne. Who are these people? I don't know any fucking celebrities anymore. They are set for The Activist, a CBS competition series from the Global Citizen. All right. Okay, we're going to read the update in a bit, okay? 3 no-name celebrities are set to host the Global Citizen competition series from CBS, The Activist. The 5-week reality TV series premieres at 8 p.m. Friday, October 22nd on CBS and will be available to stream live and on demand on Paramount+. The Activist is a competition series that features 6 inspiring activists teamed with 3 high-profile public figures, working together to bring meaningful change to one of 3 vitally important world causes: health, education, and environment. They have turned your bullshit fucking activism into a reality TV show. Yeah, to be fair, I kind of recognize Usher, but the other 2 I have no fucking clue who they are. Activists go head-to-head in challenges to promote their causes, with their success measured via online engagement, social metrics, and the host's input. Okay, so the activism success is measured. It's measured not on whether or not they accomplish the goals of the activism, but on whether or not they go viral on social media. The 3 teams have one ultimate goal: to create impactful movements that amplify their message, drive action, and advance them to the G20 summit in Rome, Italy. There, they will meet with world leaders in hope of securing funding and awareness for their causes. The team that receives the largest commitment is celebrated as the overall winner at the finale, which will also feature musical performances by some of the world's most passionate artists. Of course it will. Fucking hell. This sounds like cancer, guys. Okay, dude. People got tired of reality TV shows like a decade ago. Fuck. Here, let's read the update, because like everyone online hated this thing. Everyone fucking hated this thing. After the format for The Activist drew some blowback on social media, Deadline reached out to the Global Citizen for a statement. The Activist spotlights individuals who've made it their life's work to change the world for the better, as well as the incredible and often challenging work they do on the ground in their communities. This is not a reality show to trivialize activism. How many likes did you get? Okay, you won. You're immune from disqualification this week. On the contrary, our aim is to support activists everywhere, show the ingenuity and dedication they put into their work, and amplify their causes to an even wider audience. This is going to be fucking cancerous. I'm so ashamed and sorry. Nebraska mom, 38, sobs as she is sentenced to up to 102 years in prison for sexually assaulting her daughter's male friends, aged 12 and 13, during sleepovers where she plied them with alcohol and pot gummies. Jesus. 102 years in prison for sexually assaulting 2 of her daughter's friends. Okay. Christina Greer, 38, was sentenced to 64 to 102 years in prison Monday for luring a 12-year-old and 13-year-old boy with alcohol and weed edibles before she sexually assaulted them in her home. Her daughter was 11 at the time. In March, a Sarpy County jury had found Greer guilty of 3 counts of first-degree sexual assault of a child, 6 counts of felony child abuse, and 2 counts of witness tampering. She seems to only be sad because she's been caught. Police initially arrested Greer after a report was made that she was having sex with one of the boys from September 2017 to December 2017. A Sarpy County Sheriff's deputy testified that he interviewed a 13-year-old boy who admitted to having sex with Greer on 3 occasions at her home near the Chalco Hills recreation area. Another boy came forward in January 2019 with similar allegations. And that August, a child enticement charge was added to Greer's list of charges. Having sex with an adult female is thought of, that's the cool kid of the group, said Sarpy County Deputy Attorney Phil Klein. It's just not the case in these situations. They've been bullied, transferred schools multiple times. It's just unfortunate they have to continue to deal with it. Fucking hell, dude. Fuck. Jesus. In court Monday, Greer sobbed through her statement, saying she is so ashamed and sorry for what happened. Greer said that as a mom, it's her duty to protect her children, admitting she failed. Now our victims are 15, 16 years old. One of them's just got a driver's license. Now they're going to have to deal with this for the rest of their lives. Hey, Dr. Diddler. Wait. Okay. Hold on. I said hi, Dr. Diddler, because I recognize his name and he's a friend, not because of this fucking story. Jesus. Because they are minors, neither the boys nor the woman's daughter have been identified. When Greer's daughter testified in court, she stated that her mother had initially told her not to tell anyone about the assaults at her home because Greer would get in trouble and lose her kids. Greer's daughter testified she heard her mother and one boy in her bedroom kissing. Another teen testified that the daughter said the boy was having sex with her mom at the time. After 3 hours of deliberation, the jury delivered the verdict. Fucking hell, guys. That sucks. The coffee is cold, and we're almost done. I guess we are nearing the end of the stream. One final... And we're going to end on a high note here. We're going to end on a high note. Check this out. Man cuts off penis and throws it out of the car during police chase. Holy fuck. 39-year-old Tennessee man Tyson Gilbert has been apprehended by authorities after he cut off and tossed his penis during a police pursuit. Listen, if you gotta start throwing shit out the back of your car to stop the cops, maybe your cock isn't the first thing you should go for. Gilbert reportedly cut off his penis and threw it out the window of his Honda Accord as he attempted to escape law enforcement, a Sigma male. It began shortly after he was parked in the way of traffic on a highway, with him speeding off after authorities flagged him down. When I pulled up behind him and turned my lights off, he took off and refused to stop. He was all over the road the whole time. He turned off on Old Liberty Road and came to a stop. He opened his door. He was naked and covered in blood. He then shut his door and kept driving. The chase went through 2 counties, and at some point, Gilbert cut off his genitalia. Yeah, he couldn't handle the bee stings, guys. That's what it was. The bee sting treatment backfired. The Alexandria Police Department spiked him on Highway 70 as he was going through Alexandria. He kept traveling westbound into Wilson County. The THP spiked him in Watertown, but he continued westbound. When we were finally able to box him in and got him stopped on Highway 70 right before the interstate at I-40 and took him into custody, he was then transported to Vanderbilt Hospital. According to the authorities, Gilbert said he cut off his penis because he heard voices from his car radio that told him to do it in order to save the world. I mean, fuck, dude. I mean, obviously it's schizophrenia, right? But if you truly believed that cutting off your dick would save the world, and you're like, shit, I don't want to cut off my dick, but I got to save the world, man. Like, that is weirdly heroic in its own way, isn't it? Like within the bounds of it being schizophrenic and therefore tragic, within that framework, this guy's kind of a hero. He's a hero of his own mind. Like, damn. He got MK'd Ultra. He's a hero. He saved the world. Yeah. Fucking hell. Thank you for your service. Everyone salute. Everyone in the chat. Salute our hero. All right. This is it. This is the end. This is the end of the show. I will go read the super chats. Thank you for all the support today, guys. Oh yeah. Also, I should bring this back. I stopped doing it. I should bring it back. Everyone post coffee cups. This is the weekly sip. God damn it! You're drinking coffee today. Post your coffee cups in the chat. Go. Spam them coffee cups. If you want to support the channel, please consider giving a $5 recurring monthly donation through Patreon, subscribe to our YouTube memberships, or twitch.tv/GameBoomers. It has to be a recurring one so that the bot picks up on it and puts you into the $5 club in Discord. $100 to PayPal, $100 US to the SFO PayPal. Send me the receipt. I'll put you in the $5 club for life. And mail your packages to that P.O. box. And whenever I get 5 packages, guys, I open the packages up on the weekly sip. We've done a number of package openings. It's been pretty fun. All the coffee cups. Thanks, guys. Coffee cups and salutes, everybody. All right. Let us read the supers. Let me just find them here. Oh, yeah. How'd you guys like my Trudeau video that I put out? I worked pretty hard on it. Took me a few days to really just crank that one out. I'm actually pretty proud of how it went. Let's go to monetization. Monetization. Come on, YouTube. Cooperate with me here. Oh, and of course, speaking of Game Boomers, I will be there not tonight, but tomorrow night. Not tonight, but tomorrow night. So make sure you're there. I usually stream at 7 p.m. EST. It's an evening show. Okay. Mervinu for $10. Wonder if he stung it with a bee before he threw it. Yeah, I get it. Thanks, man. I am wrong for €20. Hi, Dev. Greeting from Ireland. I just want you to ask, what software/programs do you use when you download videos and audio from the internet? Oh, that's very easy, dude. There are a lot of, if you honestly just search like Twitter video downloader or Instagram video downloader, TikTok video downloader, YouTube video downloader, there's a lot of online sites that just do it. You can just like, they'll just rip a video. There's hundreds of them. They're so easy to find. For YouTube, I think it's called Y2Mate, y2mate.com, I think. But there's hundreds, man. There's hundreds. If there is enough demand for a Canadian election stream tomorrow, I will do one, okay? There is no Game Boomers tonight. Sunday is the night that I don't stream on Game Boomers because I stream this, then I stream Skaven on Arch's channel, and then sometimes I'm watching like Adam and Sitch, and I don't want to muscle in on their territory, so I don't stream on Game Boomers on Sundays. Sometimes I do, but generally I don't. From Matapasta, Dev is fat. Dev, yes. Yes. Dr. Diddler for $2. Dev Mpreg fan art now. No. Johnny for $2. Puppers, please. I get it. Good, pretty good. $5 from Student of History. I'm just laughing about the government is trying to scare people in a relationship, can't track, scare, control, or mistreat their partners. Bold move. Yeah, I know what you mean, man. Like, it's so bullshit. The government is literally acting like an abusive partner. DMV Boss for $5. Love the material. Always been a moderate Dem, but I've shifted to a centrist in the last 2 years. Love the work. The Serfs are an autistic Brendan Fraser. That's kind of funny, actually. The surfs are fucking nuts, dude. Titanium, because on the one hand, 3 streams a day is a bit much for me. This and then Skaven and then a Game Boomer stream, it's a bit much for me. And 2, because honestly, I like watching Adam and Sitch in the evenings and relaxing a bit. I like Adam and Sitch. They're good. I like them. They're good. They're good. Wait, what game should we continue? What are you talking about? What are you what game? Hold on. Antsick. What game are you guys talking about, dude? Yeah. Okay, so we have been streaming the new Life is Strange. Hi, SFO. Really enjoy your takes on politics and the such, even though I disagree with you on many things. Keep up the amazing work. Thank you very much, dude. Thank you for the fiver. Ivan for $5. Have been reading Rent a Girlfriend manga. If I pay you, you'll pretend to be my friend, right? That's how this works. I haven't heard of that one. Is it any good? Johnny Stoffel for $5. So having moral foundations is like learning multiplication tables to make simple math easier? Not exactly, dude. Not exactly. And I think I've read the other ones already. So that is about it, isn't it? I'll do the fan art segment next week. Basically, like, I like to do a chat segment, a news segment, and then a community segment. And this week's community segment was about the SFO Minecraft server stuff. Sometimes it's Minecraft server, sometimes it's package opening, sometimes it's fan art. I'll do the fan art one next though, okay? Who's Adam and Sitch? Adam and Sitch, just search up Sitch and Adam. They do a weekly Sunday show. Aiden Paladin's on it sometimes. Sargon's on it sometimes. I've been on a couple times. It's a fun show. It's as long as EFAP. Imagine thinking that the Skaven RP counts as a dev stream. Well, I am live during it, Torvar, you fucko. All right, guys. I think that's about it. That YouTube says that's all the super chats there are. Thank you very much. If I missed any, I'm sorry. Thank you very much. Fan art channel is in the Discord. Thank you very much for supporting me. Thank you very much for watching. And I will see you guys next time. Have a good one, everybody. I love you.